Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me. And today we are going to show you how to make pasta bake. So it's one of our favorite dishes. So let's just get started. We're going to drain it and then we're going to throw it into our baking dish. We're just going to spread it out evenly. We're going to let it cool down for a few minutes before we serve it, and then we're going to sprinkle some fresh parsley on top. And then that right there is our delicious pasta bake. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And then we will see you next time. Bye. We've pour our meat sauce on top of the pasta, and then we've spread that out evenly. Now we're going to take our cheese and we're going to shred it. I usually shred my cheese using the cheese slicer. I think that gives you the best results. You could definitely use a grater if you wanted to. And then once you have your cheese shredded, you want to throw it on top of your pasta bake, and then you want to put it in a preheated oven. We preheated our oven to 350 degrees. You want to bake this for about 20 minutes, right? First things first, you want to get yourself some penne pasta. We're going to use a whole box of this because we're feeding a bunch of people. This recipe is very easily doubled or tripled. Also, you want to get yourself some ground beef. Again, if you're feeding a bunch of people, maybe even a pound of ground beef. Today, we're doing 1/2 pound. And then you want 2 jars of pasta sauce. We're going to use a little bit more than half of the jar for this recipe. And then we're going to need 2 blocks of cheese. One of the blocks is going to be mozzarella and provolone. I usually go a little bit heavier on the mozzarella than I do the provolone, but it just depends on your preference. You also want to get some fresh parsley, an onion, some garlic, a little bit of oil and vinegar, salt and pepper to taste. And then you want about a cup of water. That's probably a little bit too much. No, it just depends on how wet you want your pasta bake to be. But we'll be using about a cup of water in this recipe. All right, so first things first. We're going to cook our pasta according to the package directions. While that is happening, we're going to start working on our meat sauce. So we're just going to get a big pot. You're going to heat it up on low to medium heat. Once that pot is nice and heated, we're going to throw in our ground beef. Now you want to break up that ground beef and make sure it's fully cooked. So once the ground beef is fully cooked, we're going to throw in our chopped up onion. We have a little bit of parsley in there as well. You just want to throw that in and mix it around. We're going to throw in our garlic. We're going to throw in a little bit of salt and pepper. Then we're going to pour in both of our pasta sauce jars. We're only using a little bit more than half of each of these. And then we're going to throw in about a cup of water. Again, you can always add more water to this if you want it to be a little bit more soupy. But we like ours a little bit more on the thicker side, so a cup of water works really nicely for us. Then we're just going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. All right, so after our pasta has been cooking for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to take it out.